Mr. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan! That guy, and welcome to Chicago. And as I said before, I'm really enjoying your Wizard World t-shirt. This man doesn't just do a convention, he does a convention. You show the love.
Got a few pictures and autographs yesterday. Saw a Norman of the Reedus.
Of House Reedus?
I got a picture. That's how I roll.
Yeah? Well, what do you think? Would you trade in, both of you, would you trade in your weapons from Captain America for a crossbow? How do you think you would do with a crossbow?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I feel like a crossbow is like setting you up for death. It's so bad.
So bad.
So bad. It's like by the time you get back here and it'll string into your brains.
Yeah, it takes time to load, pull back, and shoot.
It's not like a crossbow Uzi.
Yeah.
It's not like that. No.
You can easily, stab yourself in the eye. That's what I would do.
It's true, yeah. Which, maybe that's another comic book story we could explore. How the Winter Soldier lost his eye. That's a spin-off episode. Yeah. Well, speaking of comics, I do have to open with a comic book question. I don't want to make things too awkward here,
The answer
but
is yes.
Yes.
And we're very excited about it.
Very excited about it. No, my question is, now in the comics, each of you have taken on the mantle of Captain America. And I don't want to make it weird, but, between your characters, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who would make a better captain?
I would say him because he has like the hair. Cool James Dean thing going.
Yeah.
Which would be under a helmet. And it wouldn't matter.
If I was Cap, it would be more like Batman. Like, why is Cap just whooping people's ass all the time? Brother Cap is a whole different movie.
No, I want to see that.
That's when they get real.
I feel like you look good with those, like, the goggles that you have. I feel like just those alone would look pretty bad.
Yeah.
I like my goggles.
Just constantly reminding yourself, like Batman, like, who is that guy? I'm Captain America. as Captain America should do, yes. Well, let's go ahead and take a question from over here. Hi there.
Hi. First of all, thank you both so much for coming to Chicago. I saw you guys in Philadelphia. You were just completely awesome. And my question, I'm sorry, it's loading.
Sorry, it's a written question.
So, my question is for Sebastian. In the first Captain America movie, when Steve was rescuing Bucky, he was talking about his number, and there's a theory online that it began with 32, and in the 40s, it began with 32. It basically meant that Bucky was drafted, and I would like to know your thoughts on that theory.
Let me just say, I know the comics, and now I'm confused. I'm feeling a little bit. Oh God.
I guess that makes sense that he'd be drafted, but I always liked the idea that he wasn't drafted, that he made the choice to enlist himself, because I always thought that he, when I read up on the comics, he was, given his family background, he was always sort of following his dad's footsteps, which would always had been in the army. So it kind of gave him no choice that he had made on his own to be in the army, which later for me kind of gave him that angst to be unsure whether or not he wanted to be there.
Boom. Wasn't ready for that, huh? I don't know what kind of actor you think we is. We do research.
Have you ever been stumped?
Good night.
The best sound. That's the best sound in the world.
If you ever get stumped, you could just blame scrolls, all right? That's like the nerd shortcut we can use. Just like, oh, that was scroll Bucky. Oh shoot, did I say that out loud?
Done.
Hi there.
Hi, okay.
Yep.
Well, first off, Sebastian Stan, huge fan since I saw you as Jefferson on Once Upon a Time. That role was phenomenal. This is where you made me cry in at least 2 episodes. So for both of you, I would like to ask what you took from other roles or maybe from other personalities that might have helped you with Captain America 2, because I feel like with watching Bucky and Winter Soldier, there were some, at least facial expressions that kind of felt like you reached into some of the Jefferson angst, or if you did that.
He only has one face.
Except for scroll Bucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just one human person is playing all the characters.
When you open your eyes, you reminded me of the last movie you did.
But listen, you bring up an interesting point, which I think that's the biggest challenge for actors, in my opinion. Is like I always struggle seeing myself over and over again. I hate that. I always just try and find different things, but it's hard. It's always going to be a part of you. There's always going to be something that's recognizable. I feel like in every character about the actor. So.
Like your face.
Yeah, which is why I should just wear the mask all the time.
Who's this guy? I have no idea who that guy is. Hanging out. Assassin.
I'm gonna fog off your glasses next time we're on set. Just go like,
Just Falcon flying all over the truck flying. Like, look at the air. Maybe we shouldn't let him into the Avengers. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. My question is for the both of you. So each Marvel movie has its own different genre. If there was ever a Falcon and Winter Soldier spin-off movie, what genre would you want it to be?
Yeah, Buddy Cop is being shouted out.
Buddy Cop would be by far the best. Or, when we were shooting The Winter Soldier, I realized that there's a comic book storyline where Black Widow falls in love with Bucky. Have y'all read it? I'm not making that up. That's in the comic book.
He did his research.
Yeah, because 20 minutes later, you'll be on Twitter. Oh my God, and then Captain America, Bucky, and Black Widow. No, it's in the comic book. So, I think a rom-com with the 2 of us fighting over Black Widow. I think that would be pretty awesome.
I concur.
Who would be the wacky neighbor in that scenario?
Chris Evans. Hey bro, I gave up Cap, now I'm just hanging out. Let's go to the party.
Doing a Kramer.
Or Chris Pratt goes back a couple years ago to his role on Community.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sierra. What is one of your favorite scenes from Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
I say when he catches the shield. When we first see him, when Cap throws the shield, he's like, good job! Like, yo, Falcon is not fighting that dude.
I gotta fly somewhere.
Yeah, oh man.
Got a thing.
We feel the wings.
I always like the highway sequence. There's the car chasing sequence. I thought like that was just really different from all the other Marvel films, like till now.
Cool. Hi there.
Hi. So in the first Captain America movie, compared to the second one, Bucky's character, it changes a lot, and it's kind of it ends and then picks up, and it's completely different. It's not like a slow transition. So how did you get in the mindset, or what did you do to help suit that along?
So are you happy it wasn't a miniseries, or did you want a miniseries?
I think she would take a miniseries.
Miniseries? That sounds great.
Season 2, Bucky becomes Winter Soldier. Every episode.
Just yeah.
Yeah, oh man, thank you HBO.
Hey, occasionally some dude walking
Like,
through the room.
like the Dawson's Creek soundtrack.
I will remember Bucky.
Just the comic books, you know, that's where you go every time. I mean, that's your biggest source, so just lucky to have those.
There you go. Boom. There. We have the Black Widow actually with us, so.
Hello. What is your favorite moment to happen like on set?
While we were shooting,
Yeah.
Did it take?
Don't remember.
no, I would say when, oh man, my first day, I show up, I'm like, wow, I'm in a Marvel movie, this is amazing. I'm standing on set and there's a construction crane about 250 feet in the air. And there's a little bitty black dude on the top of the crane. And they get on the board and they're like, all right, we want you to do a backflip, come to the ground, invert it, and we'll stop you at 4 feet. Roll sound. And I was like, yup. Because I knew I wouldn't have to do that. It's a little thing. You don't have to drop me 200 feet. Done.
Yeah, I was okay with not being on top of that car. The speed sequence. I don't know. I mean, we hardly had any green screen. We were never really in a studio on this film. So the fact of just being outside and literally having things blow up around you. I mean, like it didn't matter how many times we did it. You just always got a kick out of it. You know, just that feeling of like, wow, I'm on a movie set. You know, it just that was always exciting. That was always a fun part that I remember most.
If you watch Cap, what's really funny about the movie, and I think because it's so directed so well, you don't really see it. The looks on our faces, every time somebody's shooting at us or something blows up or we're running for cover, that's real fear. You rehearse it and they're like, pack. There's an explosion here, done. Roll sound. And there's 15 dudes with buttons waiting. Wait, when he hits that square, I'm gonna get it. Like, plastic gun, wings don't work, I'm afraid. So the fear you see is real. Just watch it slow.
I actually remember one time in that last sequence of the movie when I was fighting Steve. There was at one point where they came up to me and they're like, "You're bleeding. You cut yourself." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "No way. We gotta keep it. This is real. It's amazing." He would have it.
Well, that's saying something because you've actually done a war movie before,
Right, yeah.
And so was this more intense?
Oh man. On you look at Hurt Lock, our budget was like an 20th of Cap. So, you know, our explosions were like
They're like a guy throwing sand at you, yeah.
Like we didn't have our biggest explosion on set was literally when we blew up when we detonated the bombs like a mile from us. And the first time we did it, it's like, all right, well, it's 1,000-pound of explosives. We have a blast shield, so it's going to go that way and that way. You shouldn't feel anything. Everything's all right. So roll sound. So we go to the top of the hill. It's me, Garrity, and Renner. And we're looking down at it. We're like, we just look like a bunch of rocks. So they go, action. And the dudes with their buttons hit the buttons. And you see a ripple coming up the sand. And we're all like, that's great! And it blows us about 10 feet from where we're standing. So they come and look at it and they're like, are you okay? We're like, what? It was a blast shield. What happened to the shield? So, needless to say, the next time we shot it, they shot it from a different angle, and there was no explosion. There was a dude with a bucket of dust, with a fan, and he threw the dust in the fan, and the dust came over us. That's how we got that scene. That was it.
Acting. Hey there.
Hi, so this week Chris Evans put on a nice suit and did the ALS challenge, and he nominated both of you.
Well, we should bring out Chris Evans and ask him about that. No, are you like?
Can we expect the both of you to do it, and will you one-up his suit? it.
Popcorn. Popcorn.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Donating money and raising awareness is a good thing, but we're not gonna dump these guys with ice on stage, and the non-dumping, what they do in their own time is their business, but probably not.
Well, I meant on video for not here.
I think what Chris did was...
Glad that nothing's changed since the days of Gladiator.
I think what Chris did was really cool and important. We're very happy that he did it. It's for a good cause.
Right on.
Thank you.
Popcorn indeed. Actually, I want to find out, what about the very first time that you guys met? Take us back to that moment. Was it at a table read? When did you first meet? And were you fast friends, or how'd you build that chemistry? Or
The first time we met was in LA at a party for the I think it was either the Emmys or the Oscars, and it was the In Style magazine. The viewing party, and that was about a year before Cap.
before you were even cast, I guess, a long time.
Way before.
Yeah.
But you know, those parties is all about eating for me. So I'm like, good catering, dog. I'm gonna sit over here and short ribs for a minute. So, you know, it was like, what's up? How you doing? Now the evening goes on. That's when, you know, it's LA, so 10 p.m. people are like, oh my God, I'm so tired. You know, I gotta go get electrodes. So so yeah, that was pretty much it. We live a very uneventful lives. Oh, Cap and Falcon.
I think you just wrote yourself out of the script.
They go look at the bucket. They become friends. Now when Falcon get mad, they supervillain. No, they Cap and Falcon go looking for Winter Soldier. They find him. They go through this traumatic ordeal of him transforming back into Bucky, girl that wants the miniseries. And then once he goes back to Bucky and we get all the craziness out of his head, then we become a three-man duo and we go out and be sick. Yeah, see what I mean? See what I mean? He's got a shield, he has an arm, and he has wings. See, right? Great, catchy music, and we save the world. And then we go beat up Batman and Superman.
On the same day, actually, yeah. And keep the theme song, too. I like that. Let's take a question from the Frankly Chat app. They said, what is the hardest part about preparing for your role in Captain America? So, just when you get this job and you're part of this larger universe, is the very first thing you do stock up on comic books? How do you kind of get into that entire continuity?
I mean, it's all of that. For me, it's always like, you know, you just want to do the part justice, and there's a lot of takes on it, and, you know, the comic books is where you go, but you can't help but pay attention, you know, to how you guys feel about these characters and where you want it to go, and also you don't know where they're going to take the story ever, so you're kind of always working on trying to implement things for the future, so it's a lot.
Yeah. I threw a big party at my house.
A preparation party.
Yes.
I like it. Hi there.
Hi, I'm Ellen. This is very loud. And I hear you like karaoke. Is that true? You like karaoke?
We are karaoke enthusiasts.
If the follow-up question is if
No,
you're going to
no.
ask them to sing,
No.
the answer is no. They're not big fans
I
of yours.
just sung a song, so deal with that, first of all. Second of all, yes, we are karaoke aficionados.
Well, if you had to sing a duet together, what would it be?
I really like Jersey Boys, I realized. I didn't even know that.
Great play. Great play.
I like the music.
Yeah.
That's the subplot to the Captain America 3, yeah.
Someone just felt bad for me.
And the third act.
Oh,
Third act is they just go to Broadway and watch Jersey
he was so
Boys.
cool 30 seconds ago. Jersey Boys. Starring the Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah, I can see it. Hi.
That would be good.
A whole kick line with golden or metal arm dancers in the back.
So upset.
Yeah.
So upset. Why can't I take my mask off? It's hot over here.
Cameo by Bane, maybe.
It'll be like a new Daft Punk.
No, Winter Soldier, we cannot sing this one. How do you sing the chorus?
Sorry, that was
Like Bane,
Black
you
Bane.
gained
Sorry.
weight.
Hi there.
You both do beautiful work. Thank you for pleasure granted. Mr. Stan, how many languages do you have?
Well, I used to speak 3 at one point, but I don't anymore. I really don't. I just speak Romanian and English, and I can understand German now a little bit.
All right.
Boom.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 2. Not trying to brag.
All right. Hi.
Hi guys. I got a question for each if they'll let me. I'll make it quick.
Let's combine the question into one super question.
Sorry. Okay, Sebastian, I want to ask you about King. So this is like 5 years late, but that was such a good show, you know, and your character was really great. I love Jack Benjamin. So I want to know, what was your favorite part about playing him, and do you think he deserved the really like awful thing that happened to him at the end of the season? and Anthony, since you like did theater, you went to Juilliard, right? Yes.
See.
Nice. Okay.
That is so boom worthy right there.
So what's your favorite theater role?
Yeah, no, I think he deserved that. You know, I mean, he kind of was the own, you know, his own maker in the end. I mean, it was really hard for me to be a part of that because I always wanted so many more things for that character, you know. But you have to honor the script, and that's how he was written, and you know, he was very limited in a lot of ways. But I had a great time working on that.
Cool. How'd you like working on
I'm a huge, like I love theater. I go to the theater all the time. I do theater all the time. But it's my dream to do a musical. And I mean old school dancing, like Cleavon Little, music, right? And there's this musical called Pearly. And if you haven't seen it, they did a PBS TV movie of it like in the 60s. And I used to watch it every weekend as a kid on PBS. And that's one of the greatest actors of all time, Cleavon Little, played Pearly. And that's once I become famous enough, I'm gonna do Pearly, and I don't care if 20 people see it, and we close in 5 days.
Hi there.
Hi. So, Anthony Mackie.
Hello.
Hey.
As someone who speaks out about representing minorities, especially like for children, what is a character of color you'd like to see, like either in a Marvel movie or just even come to the screen?
Well, it's not so much a character of color, because I think when you think of minorities in the superhero world, you also have to speak of women also. So I think women come in many different shades. And I think for me, I would love I would love to see a Wonder Woman. But it has to be real. Like, Wonder Woman can't be like from LA. Like, she has to be the buxom Latino she was in the comic book. Like, she gotta be, you know, like J-Lo that can act. Like a bad, like, little bitty waist, big blue briefs, good times. You know what I mean? Come on now, real Wonder Woman. Not like little bitty skinny Wonder Woman that have a loose fitting suit because she too skinny. Like if you look at the old Wonder Woman cartoon, she was gangster, you know what I mean? Wonder Woman worked out, you know, ate a lot of, you know, beef and carbs. She was real. So that's why her jet was invisible.
She kicked a lot of butt.
Yeah, so I'd like to see that all day. All day.
All day. Hi there.
Hi, my name is Mishi, and I was gonna ask for a hug, but that's probably not allowed. So,
It's so far away.
I'll give you a air hug.
There, hug.
So, this question is for the both of you. I'm in film school, and in directing class, we are always told to tell the actors not to project. So, without naming any names, what is the worst acting, like, what is like the worst thing a director has told you that has caused you to do like bad acting?
Where do you go to film school?
I go to Northwestern University.
Which one of your teachers told you?
I cannot say his name.
Because that teacher is the worst teacher of all time. That teacher is teaching because he can't direct. That teacher is awful. The last thing you want to do as a director is go to your actors and say, look, don't do this. Stand there, raise your arm, look at the lights, walk away, roll sound. That's what you don't want to do. You want to give you want to hear what your actors have to say. Give them the freedom to bring themselves to that character and then work around that. But you're going to have a whole movie like this. I just want to
Silent paranoia.
Yes, that's called ADR. Your teacher is spending a lot of money on ADR. Everybody projects. The 50% of the people on the microphone go, hi. That's how you speak. That makes no sense. You want your actors to be free and uninhibited, right?
No, he meant like projecting emotion. Like, don't
project emotion.
Oh, don't overact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all.
So maybe not the worst.
That's a great teacher. I should take that class. What's your name? Yeah, because where I'm from, projecting is hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't like bad acting like over. So like I was just wondering like what is something a director has told you that has like made you do bad acting?
I want to take that class. That's good.
The best teacher ever.
Yeah. I'm gonna send that teacher an award.
I think he'd be really happy about it.
The worst thing that I ever got was I was an ADR, and I'm not gonna name this project, but it was a while ago, and I was there, and the director was literally just say it like this, you know, like when you go up there, and I was like, when you go up, like he was just basically giving me like the line to say it like that, like how he wanted to do it. So I just wanted to be like, well, why don't you just get up there and do it? Like, so that's probably the worst thing I ever got, just line reading.
Yeah. When you're establishing rapport with the director, what's the very best thing that they can do when you first meet with them and everything? To instill confidence in it.
It's all about trust, I feel like, you know? They gotta give you a certain kind of freedom, and they gotta know when to let you sort of have confidence to take a chance, and then they gotta know when you need help from them, you know? It's a very tricky, look, I'm not a, you know, I don't want to be a director right now, you know?
You have to think about it like a good analogy. A movie is a car. An actor is the driver. The director is the GPS. So if your GPS is like, stop, wah! You're gonna hit something. You know what I mean? But no matter what you do at the end of the day, even if you're Spielberg, you know, when people came out of Lincoln, they came out of Lincoln talking about Daniel Day-Lewis because it was his face. You know, so at the end of the day, as the actor, you have a responsibility to that character, and it's the director who's supposed to put you in a position where you can develop and turn that character into an actual person. And that's what the Russos are so great.